Hey, fans of the Monday Movie Club. This week, Joel picked The Illusionist from 2010, which is number 2,984 on the Franken list. I'm Frank Gaffney, Mr. Hulo. With us always, Joel Fenster, who has a little tatty in the background there.
Yep.
And is that the Blu-ray?
Yes.
And Mark Wotitzgartner has the wrong Illusionist movie up.
What?
That's
Especially since that version of The Illusionist was a better movie when it was called The Prestige.
the
Yeah,
Prestige.
that I agree with. I agree with that, Joel.
So that's wrong. Hopefully he watched the right movie. Annie King in green. It is St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
Thank you, Annie.
She even painted her kitchen for it.
Oh, nice. And
Oh,
her
Oh my
nails.
nice.
God, you went all out.
She's all in. Where's your Guinness?
You can't tell, Mark.
Yeah.
And,
Why is
and,
everything pink?
and Cringer and Goldfuck is back. Cringer.
Yay.
Was the right time of day? What's going on?
Oh, no.
All right. Well, here's the plot of the animated film, The Illusionist. The plot revolves around a struggling illusionist who visits an isolated community and meets a young lady who is convinced he's a real magician. It's a French animated film that might as well be a silent movie. It's based on an unproduced script written by the French mime director and actor Jacques Tati. Tati? Tati.
A T.
And he
Kitty.
wrote it in 1956, but who obviously never filmed it. And they said that he wrote it as a love letter to his estranged eldest daughter. I don't know. It was nominated for Best Animated Feature Oscar, but it lost to Toy Story 3. And Mark is thinking, why didn't we watch that?
Yes. Yes.
All right, so here's some of my observations while watching it. I love the animation. It's so beautiful. It's such a beautiful, gorgeous, gorgeous movie. And nice how the jukebox played without actually plugging it in. There's some magic right there. And how does he know what size shoes she wears when he buys her the shoes?
That.
Like, I'll get these.
Yes.
And she just follows him and he's fine with that. Did I miss something?
No.
Just okay. This little girl is here. I guess 1959 Scotland was a different world. You could follow men and just live with them. Today she would call him baby reindeer. But the animation is actually a little old school in the fact that the background is so muted and beautifully. And then if there's something they're going to touch in the frame, it's a bright thing. Like, for instance, that pink shoebox with the white shoes in it. I was totally like, that is totally animated. Is there a difference, Joel? It's called like the background versus the active animation cell.
Foreground.
Because, but you know what I'm talking
Yeah, I know what
about,
you're talking
right?
about. Yeah.
They
I
used
don't
to
know
do it
that.
all the time in the Bugs Bunny cartoons. The thing that they're going to touch is a
They
bright,
highlight it.
vibrant thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it kind of did that too. And I'm sorry, that blinking hotel sign in their room would drive Amy crazy.
Oh, my God.
No,
She'd
me
be
too.
like,
Oh my
close
God, I
the
would never
friggin'
sleep.
curtains.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would never sleep. Yeah.
Close the damn curtains, girl. And I think Joel, I think you would have been better off recommending one of Tati's other films because this one to me is a not as good version of Mr. Hulo. The other two that I've seen, Mr. Hulo's Holiday and Playtime, are so much more inventive and fun than this movie was.
Well, I would agree with you on that. So
What's the connection to somebody who created this movie and Three Sisters of Belleville?
same person.
It's a,
That's what
it's well, it's the same director,
Yeah.
but the main character is really Mr. Hulot, really,
Yeah.
as a magician.
oh.
And was it just those two movies or were there
No,
others?
he's in I'm trying to remember the order. He's in Mr. Hulot's Holiday, Mon Oncle, Playtime, and Traffic.
Yeah, so four movies where Jacques Tati played this character.
Yeah.
And like I said, this is like an older magician version of that character.
And
So
admittedly,
kind of like, Chaplin and his little tramp. it was just a character he played in these four different movies. And it was a lot of silent movie kind of thing, the character. So, okay.
I wish he had played in Traffic before making this movie.
So did we watch one that came later? You didn't make us watch the first one?
Well, I mean, it's not
Not-
not like a continuation. It's not like
Yeah.
you needed to see the other ones. I'm just saying where he actually played this kind of character, I enjoyed those two movies more than this one. Okay. It was cute that he thought it was rabbit soup, but you knew it was not going to be his rabbit. Come on.
Sure.
I did not know that. I was very upset, to be honest.
Oh, I
Oh
thought
my
no
God.
For a
way.
second. Yeah.
Gullible's travels over here. And it was very cute that when he went to the movie theater, he went in the movie theater, that was Mr. Hulo on the screen
Yes.
that he was watching. That
He was
was
watching Mon Oncle.
Mon oncle.
Yeah, my uncle.
Joel's French. Mon oncle.
And
Yeah.
was that the actual director, writer?
Yeah,
or
that
no?
was Jacques Tati.
That was, yeah, that who
Okay.
played the character in those other movies. That was one of his movies.
And I love the fact that the theater is the cameo theater.
Because,
That's his cameo is
okay, cameo
He
appearance.
makes a cameo
Yeah.
appearance.
So they actually put him in the movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Debbie Gibson should have been there.
Ooh,
Oh.
you're right.
No, he's friends with her because they have the same gynecologist. Okay. And it was very sad that he just left her. I'm like, no, you
No.
could still be part of her life, even though she has a boyfriend.
No.
All right. And magicians don't exist to me seemed like the wrong message. I don't know what he was trying to, like it wasn't real magic. I don't know
It
what
was a
he
little
was trying
harsh. A little harsh.
a little harsh. Like, get on with your life and stop following me, bitch.
Believe in only reality, not, fake shit.
Yeah, but sometimes we need the magic.
Sure.
All right, 3 stars for me. The film promises magic, but ultimately delivered a bit of monotony. It was a nice little film, but even at an hour and 19 minutes, it felt long. I'm not
That's what
lying.
she said.
It felt long. Didn't look long. All right, Annie King, I'm assuming you've never seen this movie.
Nope, first time.
And it was sweet, right?
Yeah, it was sweet. And like you said, animation's beautiful and everything. I kind of got like the Giving Tree vibes. Like, she just kept asking for more without
Okay, sure.
realizing what it meant for him to keep giving
Right.
it to her and stuff.
Right.
Which I didn't understand until Danielle looked it up and to see that she actually thought that he was really making magic and creating
Yeah.
magic. I didn't
And
get
he
that.
could magically get it for him.
Right. So, but it just felt like he kept doing all this. Like, I kept waiting for him to say, "Look, I can't afford it anymore."
Right. But he bought into it as well as she did. He didn't want to break the illusion for her. So
Yeah.
that was sweet.
Yes, and I just I watched it and it was fine. Like you said, it was only an hour and 19 minutes, but I didn't feel like I really understood the point of it. Was there a point?
That's my last comment, Andy. Is there a point to this movie?
It was
Yeah.
just sweet, I think, and that was it.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean,
Is
I
there a
just
point to any movie?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
yeah, I guess I just didn't really connect to the movie as other people might have. So to me, I was just like, okay, the end. But so I'll give it 2.75. It was very nicely done. It was, but I didn't feel for it.
A little boring for you.
Yeah.
Mark, I assume you were slitting your wrists during most of it.
It was
I will
Fred
stop-
Travalena.
I will start by saying I love this group and I love watching movies that I never would have watched my own. So thank you, Joel.
You should be thanking me for not actually putting in a real Jacques Tati movie.
I would have
No,
rather
I
watched
think that-
another. I would have
Over
watched your 9-hour documentary. I think.
Show up.
No, again, Joel, I think they would appreciate one of the other ones.
Okay. I may give it a shot next year.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think they're more fun. They're more active, if you
Sure,
will.
sure.
Okay.
So before I start, I'll say I don't have comments. I have questions. That's what I wrote.
Oh, okay.
I don't want any answers. I'm just going to read off the questions. I already know some of the answers because, as Anna just said, we looked up. Danielle looked up some of the meaning of this movie because I didn't understand anything throughout the entire movie. So we looked it up, and I already have some answers. But why did the girl just up and leave with him? What language was she speaking? That they sounded
Well,
the same.
let's go
Yet,
back. Let's go back. Go to that first one. I mean, obviously, she thought he was magical,
which
and
I
she
didn't.
was intrigued by that.
Which was
She
not
was
naive.
living this boring little life, and she's like,
Yes.
"I'm gonna see what this man is about."
And what language was she speaking? Because they seemed to understand each other at some point, and then all of a sudden he was looking in the book trying to translate, and they didn't speak the
Yeah,
same language.
I don't think it mattered.
It's they were speaking, Peanuts adult, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. Wah,
And then a
wah.
lot
Um,
of times in the movie, they would suddenly just speak English, and the voices were weird. The mouths often weren't moving when they were talking. That drove me crazy.
yeah.
Like, oh, this is art.
It's odd. It's
Well,
odd. Exactly.
honestly, a
It's
lot of
odd.
that, if you do wind up watching some of Jacques Tati's films, you will
Tati.
discover that the he his movies are essentially silent movies, but he uses sound in a very uh, unique and layered manner, so that any background vocals sound similar in his films, and I think that's why uh, the director of this went with that, because he's trying to emulate that sound layer.
And pay homage as
Yeah.
well.
Huh, huh.
Joel, if you could add a Jacques Tati movie next year, I would appreciate that.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Back to questions. Why is he so tall? He was so tall.
Because
He's a
Jacques
big,
Tati was that
Yeah,
tall.
he's tall.
so he about himself. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why was who was the little boy in the bar in the beginning? She brought him into the room, and then he was never in the rest of the movie. I thought that was. I didn't know if
Well,
she was.
you saw how she made friends with everybody.
Yeah.
So she was just friends with this kid who lived either around there, near there, in the building. Who knew?
Probably the son of the bartender or something.
Yeah, she was friends with everybody.
And
We were
she
wondering if she just left her
Wanted,
own kid there. We didn't know.
no,
No.
wanted to show him some magic.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was their relationship?
Who relationship with that little boy?
No.
No,
The
the
girl
girl.
Two of them. It felt more fatherly to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
where we got to, but it was a little
Yeah.
weird the way she just followed him, and then he seemed to love her, and then when she found the handsome guy across the way, he hid, and
Well, I mean, he understood that it was time for her to move on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like any father would with their daughter.
why didn't he confront her when he thought she cooked the rabbit? That bothered me. If I came home and Luna was missing and someone had a recipe out that said dog soup, I
She
would grab her
wasn't
by the
there.
throat. I would grab her by the throat. I don't care. I'm gonna protect my child. That's his rabbit. It was his child.
Yes, but
She
first of
wasn't
all,
there. Wait, did the recipe say it was rabbit soup?
yes, what happened was the
Wind
window
did?
blew
Yeah,
the pages to a rabbit stew,
Right.
page.
It said rabbit. I didn't see
Yeah.
that.
Yes, it
Yeah.
did.
That's funny.
It's not the way it took it.
But no, I think is like part of it was like, really? No, is
No,
it?
you knew that it wasn't, that she didn't.
No, in his mind, he's
Yeah.
like, could she have?
But the way he kept hiding, looking for his rabbit was. I was like, well, dude, if the rabbit's missing, you better look for that rabbit. Like, why would you hide it from anyway? Why was the little bit of dialogue that was there murmured? Oh my God, it was so annoying. If you can at least have some dialogue, have dialogue. That bothered
And
me.
that's why he's going to hate watching Jacques Tati movies.
And why would the girl walk in on him doing his window display routine? She knows at this point that he's doing a routine. Why would she interrupt him while he has a job?
He was doing his magic.
Yeah.
She loves
Why
his
she
magic.
interrupted? He's asking.
What? Yes. She's not.
Well, I think also it was unexpected that he would be there. And she's
Yeah.
like, hey, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
It made her seem very stupid, and I didn't like that. She would understand at this point.
I thought it was, I was like, what? Like she started out being this little lady. I'm like, wow. The new
It's
haircut.
amazing what, a coat and shoes will do for you.
Yeah. I better get a coat and shoes.
And
Mark is the
lastly,
one who needs to be more sophisticated. He needs a coat
no,
and shoes.
lastly, my last question is, what was the point of this movie? Holy crap.
Yeah.
I do have a
There's the
couple
point.
comments though. My only comments are the funniest part, and I did truly, both of us laughed at this, was the Scottish driver's kilt flying up on the boat ride. That was hilarious. Legit hilarious. The live action movie where I guess it said it actually showed the guy in the theater was the best part of the movie.
I love that.
It was unexpected. It was a nice break.
Yeah.
And the all I'll say is letting a rabbit bred in captivity go in the wild pretty much means a death sentence. So I hated that part. Even though it was supposed to be beautiful, it was not beautiful. I was like, that rabbit's gonna die tomorrow morning.
Oh my
It actually
God.
happened. It happened
It's
on our golf course.
oh my
I
God. It's
just thought the
Paddington
rabbit
all over
would,
again.
I just
Paddington
thought
all over again. He thinks
the
it's a
rabbit,
real thing with real animals. It's not. It's animated.
I thought the rabbit would find its way back to him.
There you
I
go.
thought that might have happened too, but even so, it movies deliver ideas into people's minds, and
Oh my
letting a
gosh.
bred rabbit into the wild is a death sentence.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
but is he that bred of a rabbit?
You're,
He kept biting
you're the
everybody.
you're the only one who's going to think that. The only one in the history of
Nope,
the
Danielle
world
said
is
the
going to
same
think
thing.
that.
Nope,
And that's why they're mad
it
at him.
happened. It happened on a golf course. A guy let his
Yes,
rabbits
a
go,
real
and all of a
rabbit. This is
sudden,
an animated rabbit in an animated movie.
these five rabbits would show up on our golf course, and then there were four, and then there were
Aw.
three.
Oh my
Well, it
gosh.
happens after Easter all the time.
Yeah, of
And
course.
ducks. And
We have so many rabbits
March.
here, and the hawks come and have lunch.
Would you
It
feel
happens.
better if I told you that in the original screenplay it was a chicken?
There you go. It was a chicken.
No, they have chickens too on the golf course. Damn it!
He pulled a chicken out of a hat.
Yeah.
all right, wait,
All right.
I actually have a question that I wasn't sure about. Like
Okay, good.
that
As long as
whole scene in the garage when he had to
he
wash
spilled
the
oil
car
on the
and
car,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah. And then like I kept thinking like roll up the window. It's
Oh my
raining.
God, I was screaming that. I was screaming that. Yes, Andy. It
Oh
really
my God.
the fact that he backed the car out and I kept saying he has the car key. He can roll the window up. He has the key. Do it. And he didn't do it. Yeah, I
Oh
was
my
screaming.
God. Joel, do not put a Jacques Tati movie on next year.
It's only 2 stars to me. It's not a 1.5er. Okay, I'll give you that, Joel. It's not Phantom Menace. It's not The Quiet Man. And I really actually did appreciate some of it. I did,
All right.
but it was not for me. I'll put it that way.
But
Yeah, you want me to
But
put
what
another one on the list next year?
No, I don't. I wanted to put a Jacques Tati movie in. Is what I said.
But
Still
here's
is.
the thing: any movie you go into, you have to accept the parameters of that movie. You can't,
Well,
and
no. Hold on.
you can't
We're in a movie
project
club.
what you need the movie to be for you.
We're in a movie club, and so we all. I'm Annie and I are laymen. We are not film school aficionados.
It's
So
not even that.
we're in a club where someone gives a movie in. So I got a movie. I know nothing about the movie. I don't know who this guy Jacques is. I don't know anything about him. So I was expecting an
Would it be?
animated
Would you think it was better if he spelt his name Jock? Jacques.
Jacques. I just
It'd be more manly for you.
I didn't get it. Okay, so maybe that makes me unsophisticated. I've lost my maturity
You did.
level.
You lost both of them. All right.
You're
And-
fine. You're fine, Mark. You're
But
fine.
wait, but what
Thank you,
happened?
Joe.
But what happened in the garage? Why did he mess up the car? I thought he got it out, the stain.
Yeah. Yeah, it washed off the next morning.
So
It was
why'd
gone.
he get fired?
Yeah, because they were a mechanic. They're not a car wash place.
Yeah.
That was my understanding.
What was he supposed to do to the car?
Inflate the tires, change the
Do a
tires,
checkup, you know.
or change the oil or something.
Wait, wasn't
he
there
sprayed
wasn't
oil.
there wasn't there something on the car that he was trying to get off in the
No, he sprayed oil.
No, he sprayed
It's-
oil
it's a-
onto it
It's
because
an
he didn't know
oil
what he was
change
doing.
place.
Yeah.
He
But-
sprayed
But
oil.
why did he do that in the first place? It was an
Because he didn't
accident.
know what he was doing, so he was testing out every piece of equipment. He's
Right, to
this
see-
must be air
right.
or water.
That I
Oops,
got.
it's
So it
oil.
was an
Oh, fuck.
accident. It
Yeah.
was an accident.
But he
Yeah.
tried to clear it up and,
Yeah. So
made it
that's what
worse and
happened.
then got it out in the rain and got it cleaned off. And
Right.
And if you left your money in your old jacket, wouldn't you go back and get it? That part bothered me more than anything
All
else.
right,
I was
we
like, oh
need
my
to
God.
move on.
Yeah,
We
but he
need to
didn't
move on.
realize it at first either. So
But then he went like this, and I was like, you know where it is? Because I
All
didn't
right,
get it.
all right. Let's move on.
This
Any
video was turning out to be longer than the movie.
uh, so aim, I assume now this I had seen this movie in 2010 because it was nominated as best animated feature, so I watched it.
Yeah,
Aim, you
I
did no
definitely
such
didn't.
thing.
No, no, I definitely didn't see it. I did love the Three Sisters of Belleville. I'll start with that.
the triplets of Belleville.
Triplets of Belle, that's Three Sisters. I knew something was wrong.
Next year, gonna move it was the Andrew sisters of Belleville.
There you go. The Three Sisters of Bell. All right,
Um,
put that on your list for next.
yeah, I did like that one. Not that I remember it, but I remember liking it. But and this one, I was like, oh, this is a little torturous. Torture. Yes, it's pretty, but it's kind of torturous. Thank God it was short. And when it was over, I read the wiki/IMDb synopsis, and the synopsis is fabulous. And I was like, wow, I want to see that movie. Annie and Mark, you got to read it. It's really, really well written, and it makes it sound like it's going to be a great movie. So I'm glad I read it after.
Okay.
So
No, if you had read it before, you would have understood the movie better.
very possibly, and I thought, okay, I don't need this for a short animated movie, but clearly I did because I was like, that happened, really? That's what this movie's about. So yeah, I don't need to ever see it again. See, I'm talking too loudly for you. I'm sorry, honey. He doesn't like loud noises like his mommy.
Neither do
So,
you.
yeah, I just like his mommy. So I have nothing more to say because you two wouldn't shut up. So I'll give it 2 stars. Yeah.
Joel, tell them why they're wrong.
Oh, I'm not going to tell them why they're wrong. That would be.
Tell us why we're idiots, though, right?
Well, I could do that without talking about this movie. So
No,
All right,
I totally agree with Mark. That's why we have this movie club. We all have different kinds of movies that appeal to us.
Yeah.
And that's what makes this fun.
look, I have a wider breadth of films that I like
Pants?
because yes, I have a wider birth of pants. That's um, uh, you know, having, and I don't want to say it's having gone to film school because that just sounds stupid and pompous. These were things that were in existence in my personality before I went to film school. I think I went to film school to add
Makes
to that.
sense, but it's part of your personality that the three of you went to film school, that you were so in love with movies
Sure.
that you bothered to do that.
Oh
which
yeah, that
I didn't.
we were
And that,
that
and that should
interested.
be,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, that should be neither here nor there. It's really, I like watching movies, and I don't care if
Right.
it's the most recent Marvel movie or an Ernest Goes to Wherever movie or
Right. The
Kurosawa.
appreciation has nothing to do with the quality of them.
Right. And
That's why you watch all those horrible sequels.
right. Exactly.
Leonard
Okay.
Part 6.
Yeah, Leonard Part 6. And I didn't know of Jacques Tati until I got to college and
Yeah, me neither.
and I fell in love with his films. And if you're looking at the history of film comedy, he is the link between Chaplin and Rowan Atkinson. Mr. Bean, is directly descended from
I can
Mr.
see that.
Blow. To the point where Mr. Bean's Holiday Vacation or whatever that film is it's a off-kilter remake of Mr. Hulot's Holiday, essentially.
Right.
So
So it's more a European sensibility.
yeah.
And what is the Tati thing? Is that
Oh,
it looks like a record album. What is
It's
it?
actually it's a book set. It's a 5-volume set of stuff that he did over his lifetime. So like all the scripts that he wrote are in there. So the script for
Oh,
The
cool.
Illusionist is in there.
And was it really a chicken?
Yeah, there's a chicken takes more of a center stage than a rabbit, and there's other differences. The film is set in Eastern Europe, not Scotland. In the script, but it essentially follows the same pattern. And there is some, as you addressed earlier, that maybe it was written as a something of a love letter to his estranged older daughter. And though his direct descendants apparently will or had, because they're no longer living, squash that
Disputed
career.
that.
It was more about their family than the other family. So, but either way, I think it's to me it's a sweet film. It's very
very sweet.
charming. It pays a lot of homage to everything that Tati was about in his own films, while still changing it up, because it's not at the end of the day it's not a Jacques Tati film. It's Sylvain Chomet's film. That he was the one who rewrote it and recentered it and animated it. So it's more his film paying homage to everything that Tati was about, to the point of, he specifically makes the Illusionist he's patterned off of Tati's actual look and gestures and the way he held himself on screen. So I just think it's a lovely film. When it came out, I had to see it. I enjoyed it immensely when I saw it in theaters. It's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. I'm sure some of you, well, I'm sure the rest of you, turned it off as soon as the credits started rolling.
No, I saw
Okay.
the post-credit sequence.
Okay.
Oh no, I didn't see it. What's the post-credit?
Go ahead,
sequence?
Amy. You can
I
tell
don't
me.
even remember what it was. It was very, very short. It was like 10 seconds. I was like,
Yeah,
what the hell just happened? And it was gone.
Yeah, it was a silly thing, but it was there. It was basically the two of the British guards. I can't the
Yep.
With the big
Changing
hats.
of the
Yeah.
guard.
Yeah.
the changing the guards, and they're standing on either side of the gate with the opening, and the drunk Scotsman is like scooshing
yeah.
himself across the ground between them, mumbling to himself again. So that's all it was. But I was like,
I remember.
But you called it right. We were like 5 seconds in the credits, and I was like, "Shut this off! Shut this off!"
And I totally
I remember
thought I
that.
got to remember to bring this up because nobody else will have seen it.
yeah,
It's funny.
No, I remember that.
You did?
okay,
The credits were very short.
yeah,
He wasn't the same drunk guy when he was in London, was he?
yeah,
Was the same guy?
same
Yeah.
guy.
Okay.
Just found him.
Yeah, the one that was, when he was at that party,
Gave
and was
him-
putting
Yeah,
the-
drunk and knocking
With
over
the
stuff.
with the magical jukebox.
yes.
Yes. Oh, that was different. That was when he was in Scotland. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have just stayed at that pub the whole time. He made money there. It was the only time he actually made money, and people listened to him. People liked him. I was like,
Yeah.
"Why is he traveling? Stay there."
But it totally made me think of Baby Reindeer, because
I've never seen
that
it.
was the kind of place that
Oh, you
he
have
would
to.
go and
Stay in.
And the
at first-
band totally reminded me of the Beatles, but this was written, you said, in
Yeah.
59. I
Yeah.
was like, oh my
Yeah,
God,
this-
that's Ringo Starr on the drums with the mustache.
100%, Amy. 100.
Well, I'm
Yeah,
sure
but-
that
but
in
that
the
was
time between,
now he animated.
Oh, right.
Tati. It's actually in his catalog of things. It's not labeled The Illusionist. It's labeled Tati #4, because it would have been his fourth film. He
Mhm.
wrote it between.
Right.
3 and 5.
3 and 5.
Yeah, I'm trying to. My brain's
Doesn't
going.
matter.
He wrote it between Mon Oncle and Playtime. So, whether the Beatles were big or not at that point, I
Yeah.
not. So, anyway, I'm going to give it 3.25 stars. As a Tati film, it's on the lesser end of things, but it's still very much a beautiful homage to what he did. And I'm sure none of you noticed that there are no close-ups in the film. You're dealing with a magician who relies on close-ups when doing their illusions, and I find it fascinating that the film is mostly long shots of things.
I didn't notice it, but when I read it in the trivia, I thought, oh my God. Yeah.
Do you think Scott Lang watched that movie when he was doing his close-up magic in
No.
Ant-Man 2?
No. He probably watched that Illusionist.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll throw that and The Prestige on next year's list.
The Prestige is a legit good movie. I enjoy that one. I actually own it.
So I mean, and I think the really beautiful thing is that they actually made this movie.
Yes, I mean the
Oh,
fact
that was-
that it got made a bazillion years later. I
Yeah.
think
Sorry,
Very sweet.
when did he write it?
in the
59,
50s, yeah.
59.
Oh, that's what it opens up to, 59. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's why he said it in that era, because that's when he wrote it.
Yeah.
All right. And because the whole sense of, that kind of act was on the way out. I mean, obviously here because of rock and roll, but
Right.
but
It was
yeah.
sad to see the acrobats as well as the
Yeah.
Up,
ventriloquist.
up, 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 up.
Yep.
And that they were I loved it when they were painting the billboard. I'm like, well,
Yeah.
you adapted
That was
fine.
clever.
You're
That
gonna
was
be
clever.
good.
That was clever.
Yeah.
And he's just
Very
throwing them
cute.
the right brushes and stuff. And
Yeah.
then when he goes to paint the lips, they're like, no, 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 no.
Because it looked like it didn't look like he had a red paint. The
Yeah,
brush had no red on it. I'm like, how's that red?
it was magic.
It was magic. So
Yeah, I thought
yeah,
the
so
pawn shop was very sad when
yeah,
the ventriloquist
doll was there. Yeah.
was there.
Everyone else was an alcoholic. It was crazy. The ventriloquist and the other guy who was going to kill himself.
Clown, yeah.
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 And see, chicken soup can save your life.
Yeah. Or rabbit
He
stew.
stole. Yeah.
Rabbit soup can save your life. All right. So if this is your cup of tea, The Illusionist is not on the usual streaming services, so you're gonna have to rent it.
Or
Next
it's on
week
YouTube TV.
for
That's
free?
where I saw it. So
Oh no, but you have to subscribe to YouTube TV, right?
Yeah.
It's a
yes,
thing.
it is a subscription.
Yeah. Next week, Amy gets all nostalgic on our asses with My Bodyguard from 1980.
Oh, nice. Going back to the 80s.
With one
Also
of the
not-
Baldwin brothers, who's not a Baldwin
Is
brother.
this available somewhere?
Yes. And Matt Dillon.
Yeah.
Well, he was Matt
It's-
Dillon.
Yeah.
It's also not available anywhere. So
Really?
Amy's
Thanks,
making you buy
Disney.
the movie. Thanks, Amy.
No, thanks, Disney. It's Disney's
All
fault
right.
it's not available anywhere.
I'm Mr. Hulo. Go watch a movie.
And also with you. Boop.